Guilty. 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 Not guilty. Guilty.
Well, how do you like that?
Who was it? I think we have a right to know.
Excuse me. This is a secret ballot. We agreed on this point, no? If a person wants it to remain a secret...
What do you mean? There are no secrets in here. I know who it was. What's the matter with you, buddy? You come in here and vote guilty with all the rest of us, and then this slick preacher starts to tear your heart out with stories about a poor little kid who couldn't help from becoming a murderer. So you change your vote. If that's not the most sickening thing I've ever seen. Hold it! We're trying to put a guilty man in a chair where it belongs. All of a sudden we're paying attention to a fairy tale.
Please, I was at the meeting. I have always thought that a person was entitled to have unpopular opinions in this country. This is one of the reasons why I came here. I want to have the right to disagree. In my own country, I am ashamed.
What do we have to listen to now? The whole history of your country?
Yeah, let's stick to the subject. I want to know what made you change your vote.
There's nothing for him to tell you. He didn't change his vote. I did. Perhaps you'd like to know why.
No, we wouldn't like to know why.
The lady wants to talk.
This gentleman chose to stand alone against us. That's his right. It takes a great deal of courage to stand alone, even if you believe in something very strongly. He left the verdict up to us. He gambled for our support, and I gave it to him. I want to hear more. The vote is 10-2.
That's fine. The speech is over. Let's go on.
Listen, buddy, I was a little excited. I didn't mean to get nasty. Nothing personal.
Look, supposing you answer me this. If the kid didn't kill him, who did?
As far as I know, we're supposed to determine whether or not to go ahead and trial is guilty. We're not concerned with anyone else's motive here.
Guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. Important to remember.
Everyone's a lawyer. Supposing you explain to us what your reasonable doubts are.
This is not easy. So far, it's only a feeling. I have a feeling. Perhaps you don't understand.
A feeling? What are we going to do? Spend the night talking about your feelings? What about the facts? You said a mouthful. Look, the old man heard the kid yell, "I'm going to kill you." A second later, heard the father's body fall. He ran to his door and saw the kid running down the stairs 15 seconds after that.
That's right, and let's not forget the woman across the street. She looked into the open window and saw the boy stab his father. She saw it. Now, that's not enough for you.
Not enough for me.
How do you like him? It's like talking into a dead phone.
The woman saw the killing through the windows of a passing elevated train. The train had 5 cars. She saw it through the windows of the last 2. She remembers the most insignificant details.
Well, what do you got to say about that?
I don't know. It doesn't sound right to me.
Well, suppose you think about it. Let me your pencil. Your turn. We might as well pass the time. Wait a minute! Isn't a game? Who do you think you are?
All right, let's take it easy.
I not going to walk around this table and belt him one. Come on, I don't want any fights in here. Did you see him? The nerve. Absolute nerve. All right. Forget it. Don't mean anything.
Write it down.
This isn't a game. Who does he think he is?
Take a look at that sketch. How long does it take an elevated train going at top speed to pass a given point?
What has that got to do with anything?
How long? Yes.
I wouldn't have the slightest idea.
What do you think?
About 10 or 12 seconds, maybe.
I'd say that 10 seconds is a fair guess. Anyone else?
10 seconds left.
About 15 seconds.
Okay, say 10 seconds. What are you getting at?
This. An L train takes 10 seconds to pass a given point. That given point is the window of the room in which it's going to place. You can almost reach out of the window and touch the L tracks, right? Alright, so let me ask you this. Have any of you here ever lived right next to the L tracks? Well, I have. When your window is open and the train goes by, the noise is almost unbearable. You can't hear yourself think.
Okay. You can't hear yourself think. Would you get to the point?
The old man heard the boy say, "I'm asleep," and 1 second later he heard the body fall. 1 second. That's a testimony, right?
Right.
The old woman across the street looked through the last 2 cars she held and saw the body fall. The last 2 cars.
What are you giving us here?
An L train takes 10 seconds to pass a given point, or 2 seconds per car. That train had been going by the old man's window for at least 6 seconds, and maybe more before the body fell, according to the woman. The old man would have had to hear the voice say, "I'm going to kill you," while the front of the train was roaring past his nose. It's not possible he could have heard it.
What do you mean? Sure he could have heard it.
Could he?
He said he heard it. That's enough for me.
I don't think he could have heard it.
Maybe he didn't hear it. I mean, like Elmer.
What are you talking about? He called the old man a liar?
Well, Dad's reason.
You're crazy. What's he got to gain? Oh, you keep coming up with these bright things. Why don't you send one of the newspaper? They pay $5.
Why might the old man have lied? You have a right to hear it.
It's just that I looked at him for a very long time. He was an old man. The seam of his jacket was torn in his arm. Did you notice that? He was an old man and he walked with cane. I think I know him better than anyone here. He's a quiet, frightened, insignificant man who has been nothing all his life. Never had any recognition, name in the papers. Nobody knows him after 75 years. It's a very sad thing. A man like this needs to be punished and talked to before he gets worse. He's very important.
And you're trying to tell us that he lied about a thing like this, just so that he could be important?
No, he wouldn't really lie, but perhaps he'd make himself believe he heard those words and recognize the boy's face.
Well, that is the most fantastic story I have ever heard. How can you make up something like that? What do you know about it?
I speak from experience.
Anything else?
Anybody want a cough drop?
Come on, let's get on with
Now, there's something else I'd like to point out here. I think we've proved the old man couldn't have heard the voice say, "I'm going to kill you." But supposing he really did hear it, this phrase, how many times did you use it? Probably hundreds. If you do that once more, Junior, I'm going to murder you. Come on, Rocky, kill him. We say it every day, especially when we're going to kill somebody.
Wait a minute. The phrase was, "I'm gonna kill you." The kid screamed it out at the top of his lungs. Anybody said something the way he said it, brother, they mean it.
And how they mean it.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you really think the boy would yell out a thing like that? The whole neighborhood could hear it? I don't think so. He's much too bright for that.
Right? He's a common, ignorant sloth.
He don't even speak good English.
He doesn't.
I'd like to see that vote's not guilty. Are you sure? Yeah. Sure. The vote's 9-3 in favor of guilty.
Well, if that isn't the end. What are you basing it on? Stories this guy made up. He had to write for Amazing Detective Monthly. He'd make a fortune. Listen, the kid had a lawyer, didn't he? Why didn't his lawyer bring up all these points?
Lawyers can't think of everything.
Oh, brother, you sit here and pull stories out of thin air. Now we're supposed to believe that the old man didn't get up on the bed, run to the door, and see the kid beat it downstairs 15 seconds after the killing. He's only saying he did it to be important?
You say you ran to the door?
Ran, walk, what's the difference he got there?
I remember what he said. Plus he could have ran to the door.
He said he went from his bedroom to the front door. That's enough, isn't it?
Where was his bedroom again?
Down the hall somewhere. I thought you remembered everything. Don't you remember that?
No. Mr. Foreman, I'd like to see the diagram of the apartment again.
Why do we have them run the whole trial over? Just so you can get everything straight.
Mr. Foreman,
I heard you.
What's this for? How come you're the only one who wants to keep seeing the exhibit?
I want to do some too.
And I want to stop wasting time.
We're going to start wasting all the nonsense about where the body
we're
found.
not. We're going to find out how a man who's had 2 strokes in the past 3 years and who walks with a pair of keys will get to his front door in 15 seconds.
He said 20 seconds.
That's the key. It's positive.
I've seen how long 15 seconds is. You can't judge that kind of thing.
It's positive.
He was an old man. Half the time he was confused. I'd be positive about it. About anything. What, you want it?
That's right, thanks.
May I?
Do me a favor, wake me up when this is over.
All right. This is the apartment in which the killing took place. The old man's apartment is directly beneath it, but exactly the same. The L tracks are about here. Here's the bedroom, another bedroom, living room, bathroom, kitchen, and here's the hall. Here's the front door, and here are the steps. Now, the old man was in bed in this room because he got up, went out into the hall, down the hall to the front door, and opened the door just in time to see people racing down the stairs. Am I right?
That's the story.
15 seconds after you heard the body call.
What?
His bed was at the window. It's 12 feet from his bed to the bedroom door. The length of the hall is 43 feet 6 inches. He would have had to get up, out of bed, get his cane, walk 12 feet, open the bedroom door, walk 43 feet, and open the front door all in 15 seconds. Do you think this is possible?
You know it's possible.
He can only walk very slowly. They have to help him with this.
You make it sound like a long walk. It's not.
For an old man who uses a cane, it's a long walk.
What are you doing?
I want to try this thing. Let's see how long a stick is. I'm going to take off 12 feet from the length of the bedroom.
You're crazy. You can't recreate a thing like that.
Perhaps if we can see it. This is an important point.
Hand me your chair. All right. Let's say this is the bedroom door. Now, how far would you say it is from here to the wall of this room?
About 20 feet.
20 feet is close enough. So from here to the wall and back is about 40 feet. It's shorter than the length of the hall. Would you say that?
A few feet, maybe more.
This is absolutely insane. What makes
Do
you
you mind if I
think
try it? According to you, it'll only take 15 seconds. We can spare that. All right, who's got to watch for the second half? I have. When you want me to start, stamp your foot. That'll be the sound of the body falling. Tiny snare. All right, let's see. Keep the canes right at his bedside, right? I'm ready.
Speed it up. We walk twice as fast as that.
Now this is, I think, even more quickly than yours, man. Will cost me.
If you think I should walk faster, I will. Stop. What's the time?
15, 20.
31 seconds.
My guess, the old man was trying to get to the front door, heard someone racing down the stairs, and assumed that it was the boy.
I think it's possible.
Assumed? Now listen here, you people. I've seen all kinds of dishonesty in my day, but this little display takes the cake. Tell them, will ya? You come in here with your heart bleeding all over the floor about slum kids and injustice. You got some soft-hearted old lady listening to you. Well, I'm not. The kid's guilty and he's got to burn. We're letting him slip right through our fingers.
Our fingers. I use that excuse.
I'm one of them.
Maybe you'd like to pull the switch.
For this kid, you bet I'd like to pull the switch.
I'm sorry for you.
Don't start with me.
What it must feel like to want to pull the switch.
Shut up!
You're a sadist.
Shut
I
up!
want to see this boy die because your own person.